Shinnen akemashite omedetou gozaimasu. Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to the first Shotsuki Hoyo service for the month of January in the new year 2022. Surprisingly, this is the second year we are observing a virtual Shotsuki Hoyo service for the month of January as we continue to follow the safety protocols of this challenging coronavirus. Our service today will be officiated by Rev.Dennis Fujimoto, our supervising minister from the Buddhist Temple of Alameda. Reverend Fujimoto will open with the adoration, Hyo Byakumon.
Hyo Byakumon. Today, on this occasion of our Shotsuki service, members of the Enmanji Buddhist Temple have reverently come before Amida Buddha in memory of their beloved.
The Enmanji Shotsuki Hoyo honorees for the month of January are Nobuko Furusho, Leroy Gunnels, Ayako Hayashi, Yozeno Ishizu, Fuji Ishizu, Mayasu Ito, Tokizo Kimura, Kukuichi Kunimoto, Seizo Kunimoto, Sueikichi Matsuda, James Taro Matsushita, Sasuke Morikawa, Saihachi Murakami, Shinna Murakami, Fujino Otani, Betty J. Peterson, Teruo Shinotsuka, Tami Takenaga, Kisachi Ueda, Barry Yasuda, Perry Yasuda, Teichi Yoshioka, Yuka Matoba, Fuji Murakami Kamatani, Tsutomu Taniguchi, Shimako Iwamura, Taichi Matsuda, Bunichi Bob Yasuda, Hiroshi Kawahara, Asayo Kawaoka, Itsuko Hamamoto, George Kazuo Okazaki, Alejo Bunuan, Kenzo John Okazaki, James Roitsu Yamasaki, Yasu Kawase, Ayako Shimizu, Dennis Jilka, George Kimura, Gengo Taji, Yaichi Okamoto, Sui Yuk Lam, Minoru Matsuda, Ruth Hiraga, Ted Hiraga, Shizuyo Kunimoto, Bill Shimizu, Misao Shimizu, Dr. Tetsuro Fuji, Tsuneo Moriki, Mei Yamaoka, Marie Sugiyama, and Tom Yoneda. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Reverend Fujimoto will now continue with chanting. For those of you who would like to join the chanting, a PDF copy of the Purple Shin Buddhist Service Book can be accessed from the same site as this service. We will begin with chanting Sambujo, the three respectful callings found on page 24 of the service book. Then continue with the first 10 pages of Amida Kyo, the Amida Sutra, on pages 103 to 113. This will be followed by the Nembutsu Eiko on pages 134 and 135.
With deepest reverence and thankfulness for the all-embracing wisdom and compassion of Amida, we reaffirm the three homages. Namo Kie Butsu, Namo Kie Ho, Namo Kie So. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Please repeat the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, 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 Namanda. 如来理有道上大祝に自分を長老者利法十世財法果樹万六分道う世界妙安極楽合道無分合阿弥陀根現在説法者利法移動が光明意極楽合国修上無宿単住小楽光明極楽利法極楽国道修南樹七十羅摩七十五樹海税司法修相異名税公非国妙安極楽者利法極楽国道無執法知薬毒水十万五中地帯順に根社富士四辺街道根言瑠璃あり五条上老各薬医根言瑠璃あり社公釈襲名の 二言直視地中蓮華大尿車輪小式小項大式陽項尺式尺項白式白項微妙高見舎利法国羅国土長寿尿税功徳将軍ウシャリホヒブ国土調査天学黄金二次昼夜六時二遊曼ダラ家五国修上上位昇誕各位英国上修明家供養他法十万六分即位直時検討本国本直協業舎利法国羅国土長寿尿税功徳将軍仏師舎利法非国上修十奇妙座敷市長白国弱オムシャリ下領賓が愚名市長聖書宗長長や六時水和慶音五音年長五根公力七宝大文那小道文尿税東方合同修上門税音に開出年仏年法戦争舎利法尿物医師長実税祭法少少少医者が非部国土無三幕宗舎利法合部国土商務三幕道司名が教実税書宗長改税阿弥陀仏抑量法音川流園芸少佐舎利法非部国土未付水道小法五十牛法ラモ水未明音非尿百戦中学同時空差音税音社会事年上念仏念法念相死心舎利法合部国土長寿尿税功徳将軍
Fujimoto Sensei will now give the first Dharma message for the new year.
Namanda, 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 namanda.
Good morning again, everyone. Very happy to be able to share in this first Shotsuki service, Okage-sama. You know, usually when we begin the year, we have the two services at the end of year service, Joya-e, and then the New Year's Day service, Shusho-e. And this year in particular, things align where we have 3 services in 3 consecutive days with the end of year, the new year. And then the Shotsuki service is the very next day. So 3 services in a row. In a recent discussion time, we were talking about the end of year service and hitting the Kansho 108 times, and someone described it as chasing out the evil spirits and welcoming in the good spirits as we begin the year. And that's really not how we're supposed to be thinking of it. That's more of a sense of superstition, isn't it? So we welcome everything. We welcome in wonderment all the infinite causes and conditions that come to touch our lives. Every day is a first day. And so when we hit the Kansho, you know, we remind ourselves of our blind passions and 108 blind passions, and we still are able to receive all these things that happen to create our lives and maybe not necessarily deserved, but we receive all these conditions. And so this is what we're welcoming, okay? And it's nothing to do with evil spirits, but welcoming the amazing continuation, the opportunity to have this life. So Okage-sama, wonderful word. I think it's used in many different ways in Japanese language, and we can translate it as to live in the shadows of the efforts of others. And others, not just people, but other in general. Other, everything beyond myself. All of it is other. So we live in the shadow of all these other things, from people to things and conditions, all of it, all of it. And so this holds the Buddhist worldview that any instance is a result of countless causes and conditions allowing such a situation to become. Okay? So when we come to the Shotsuki service, we come to honor mom or dad or grandma or grandpa or someone connected who is close and dear that we have lost. But as we think of them, we are touched by so many memories, stories, encounters, adventures that come to mind. Not only that person, but all the conditions that played out and became a moment that stays as a memory. So this happens when we reflect upon the person we honor at our Shotsuki services. And as we do this, billions and billions of causes and conditions creating every single moment become part of this memory, okay? And we connect to not just the memory of that person, we connect to this infinite. We connect to Amida, not in memory, but in reality, right at this moment. And this is the mind of Shotsuki, and this is Okage-sama. So maybe other examples of how Okage-sama is used. If you're, for example, your son or daughter has found someone fitting to marry, and in Japanese, a parent might say, Okage-sama, very appreciative that such conditions have come into alignment for this to occur, okay? Maybe another example, your mother may be suffering from illness and recovering, and someone might ask, how is your mother? And in response, Okage-sama, and to convey that the conditions are improving. The conditions of the illness are moving to improve. So if it were in English, how is your mother? I said, oh, she's improving, she's getting much better. And because of how the language is set up, mother becomes the subject and the center of the conversation. But in Okage-sama, we're talking about the conditions of the illness are improving due to so many conditions coming to be, continuing to become. So our mind of awareness is allowed to be. So we're not just talking about mom, we're talking about all these countless conditions. And so this mind becomes this mind. Another example, if your grandson graduates from high school or college, Okage-sama might be in response, and we're considering the endless teachers, authors of books, classmates, all these things every single day during the education from nursery school, kindergarten, all these different schools that had to happen and occur. And after all this progression, coming to graduate from high school or college or something like this. So not just saying, oh, John's graduating today, we're so proud, but there's an awareness of this infinite acknowledgement of the conditions rather than giving or receiving credit and feeding the sense of self. So this is the sense of Okage-sama, right? And so sometimes it seems like we're lacking that as we speak in our normal everyday language, and as we come to understand the teachings and the value of Buddhism, maybe this comes back into our thoughts, in our minds, in our ways. Something in the Japanese language, they have this sense of Okage-sama that we may not always have. The farther we are removed from awareness and use of the Japanese language, we move away from this sense of Okage-sama. So Buddhism provides this degree of mindfulness and awareness. And so hopefully we each recognize and articulate the Buddhist perspective that is the essence of the Shotsuki and of all our services. This essence, this sense of recognizing beyond individual relationships and people, connected to all else. So as we move our temples into the future, move our teachings into the future, are we going to be able to keep these, or are they going to dissipate? What do you think? I think the Sloth family, our chairpersons for today, are a good model for us all. They think about it. They've been thinking about Shotsuki, and they talk about it with their friends and neighbor families, and they encourage us all. They encourage all of us to see the value and to appreciate this sense of Shotsuki, this sense of Okage-sama, and to be able to share this with each other and with others. And this is how we are going to be able to keep and maintain these very close, meaningful words and teachings that make our lives what they are today. And through this sense of Shotsuki and Okage-sama, we'll hopefully be able to continue. Okay. So thank you very much for being able to letting me share these thoughts today. Please join me in Kansho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. So we look forward to this whole new year coming and to be able to share this time together. And it's always special to have these services where we gather to be able to share in the light of the Dharma and to listen to the teachings that are provided to us. So in setting up and preparing for the service, many people are involved, and we want to thank them all. People are involved to provide the flowers and the fruits for the altar setting here, the obokpan, rice offerings, and all of these things. For the video service, we have people who are working hard to video and edit and to provide the links that everyone is able to link onto our services. We thank our service chair people, Sloth family, again, for being here and to being part of the teachings and the teachers of our traditions. So thank you all again. I will now light the incense here, and you can do the same as you have set up to do in your homes to be able to come up and offer incense once again. So with this, we will conclude our Shotsuki service for today. Please join me with palms together in Kansho. Namo Amida, Namo Amida, Namo Amida, Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you.
This will conclude today's Shotsuki Hoyo service. Our appreciation and our thank you go to Reverend Fujimoto for starting the service with the Kansho and for his Dharma message. And for the special New Year attention to our Onaijin, thank you to Lance Lew for the arrangement and flowers, Nancy Davlin for providing the mochi arrangement, Dang Luan for providing the offerings of tangerine and manju, Darryl Yagi for taking the time to arrange our Onaijin with the special offerings, and to Kevin Iwamura, our videographer, for his talents of the videography and for the editing of our services. And to all of you, arigato and thank you for taking the time to join us today. And a wish to each of you for a happy, healthy, and less challenging new year. For those of you who are interested in doing so, donations can be made through our website. Please take care until we can all meet again. Thank you. Thank you. Tamami dots.